On to tonight's symposium. This is a continuance of last year's Survival Jobs event where we had John Mattson from the Actors Fund work program. John has a whole program laid out where he's devoted to helping actors find sideline work. One of the particular things that he talked about that I found interesting was he spoke about finding your passions, things that drive you as an inner artist, and then taking those ideas, whether they have anything to do with acting or not, but taking those ideas and then putting them to a search for like, okay, I know that I type well, other than being a writer, what else can I do? You know, stuff like that. And then taking those little ideas, turning them into job searches, and then basically you take the little idea and it grows into be something that helps you thrive as an actor and as an individual. The people up here on the panel have done just that. All of these people are actors and have sideline jobs that help them fill in the in-between times. And I can think of no one better to talk about everyone than the esteemed Michael Eliopoulos. Michael is an actor and a writer and our esteemed moderator. He spent the last decade in between Los Angeles and New York. His first acting job was as Fred and Petruchio in Kiss Me Kate. When he later learned that SAG president and Howard Keel actually originated the role, it sort of defined Michael's path in acting and also cemented that with his love of labor, action, and life and brought him great clarity and comfort. Michael's passions include conservation and clean water, swimming, yoga, cooking, and interviewing people he admires. Ladies and gentlemen, Michael Eliopoulos.
Thank you, Kevin. Thank you so much. I appreciate that, and thank you. I can't tell if I'm more excited tonight about all of you being here or about all of these wonderful panelists joining us. By the way, Kevin, just to point out, you pointed out that there's no one more qualified than this panel. I would exclude myself from that because you'll hear my story. I've been kind of in the mode that maybe some of you can acknowledge, can relate to, of seeking work, seeking viable work, and really getting back to the roots and the fundamentals of what moves you. But I'm excited to see you all here. I'm excited that some people that I've known joined us tonight. Some people that I've met are joined us tonight. We're going to have a great conversation of which you'll have a wonderful chance to listen in. And I want you really to use this time to use your imaginations to think about what it is that work means to you. If you're in a place right now where you're doing things that really are vital to you and you can share that, if there's ways in which people up here can inspire you and get you to think more clearly about what you want to do with both your acting career and the parallel, what I like to call the passion paychecks, and not just slugging out a job and trying to get some benefits. I mean, that's been really critical. And for me, I spent a number of years just like, oh, I'm an actor, so I'll wait tables. And you know what? There wasn't really anything long-term for me in it, and I would advise actors today not to do it unless you have an ownership stake in a restaurant, because some of you know, I see some nodding heads, know it's too much. So my hope is after this intro, the interviews, the Q&A, you all take away from here, not necessarily a job. Some people here will be entertaining your interest in hiring or job inquiries or peer mentoring. Some of them will not be for their sake of their choice or their particular career. But I want you to really think more about how you can be more involved in your own art and your own life and your own work, however you do that. That's my wish. That's part of what we plan together as making this evening happen. So how many people here know that it's May Day? May 1st is May Day. Great. Well, my first recollections of May Day were of, and I'm dating myself here, John Chancellor telling us the news, showing us the USSR having military parades, showing off their profound military strength. And at the same time, I had kind of, for me, Labor Day was about jitters about having to go back to school the next day. Well, I can't think of any 2 days more appropriate than Labor Day or May Day to have this event, because we are, after all, a labor union. And I really was very naive growing up I'd think about Valerie Harper as Rhoda is different than Valerie Harper, president of SAG. Ed Asner, the same thing. Anyone that, you just would separate that, I wouldn't think about. I wouldn't think about actors as a labor in the same way that I would think about auto workers or about teachers or public servants. But we are laborers. It's just our profession, and it's a labor of love. But just because we have the love and we're excited to do it, and this is where I want us all to go tonight, is it doesn't mean we should undervalue ourselves as individuals. That's what collective bargaining is about. That's what unionism is about. Being involved in these seminars is great. I encourage you all, and this is based on my own experience because I've really been in a tough place the last couple of years with looking for consistent and meaningful work. I just started getting involved with the union more, and that's kind of reinvigorated my own skill set, my confidence in myself, cold calling companies, I just called a company involved in waterless technologies because clean water is a passion of mine. Got a call back from the CFO. So I was like, wow, so I must be doing something right. I'm on the right path. So I want you to think about those things that are labor of love for you, what it means in your art, again, and these people here are going to educate us and educate each other into how they're creating work for themselves and valuing themselves as individuals in a community, in a workplace, in an organization, in a union, in a city, and not just passing through. And again, this is my own projection because a lot of times I feel like I'm just passing through, as opposed to really making a difference. So that's my, wish for you tonight. I have more that I could say. Doesn't want to get into I feel like a political stump speech, but I will say some of what I want to talk about has to do with themes that we're going to bring up, so I'll come back to some of them. One of them is ownership of work. Just one quick story, and then I'll get to introducing the panel. I had a really good friend, came from Lebanon when he was 18, didn't speak English, started working down at Fisherman's Wharf in San Francisco. And he said, I treat every job like it's my business. And I was, at the time, working for him. He owned a cafe, and I was 30. And I said, wow, it never dawned on me to treat every job like it's my business, to care about it like that. And it's made a big impact for me as to how I approach my work since then and value myself, and it opens up doors, for me. So that's a big thing, again, that I just wanted to, if anything, just share that that's something that's important to me, that since I'm going to be asking questions and, letting the panelists talk mostly, I want to at least share that with you before I move on. So without further ado, let me step back so I can get visual range here and introduce our panel going down the line. I'm going to kind of bounce around, even though I have you all in alphabetical order. Michael Faulkner has played the Kennedy Center, Cincinnati Playhouse, San Jose, and San Diego repertories, many other theaters, and toured Belgium, Holland, Barbados, and even New Jersey. Very decadent, very otherworldly place. As a member of the Reduced Shakespeare Company for over 10 years, I now have RSC envy. He currently works at the Geffen Playhouse as education coordinator. This summer, he will be playing the dream role of Malvolio. By the way, opposite as Olivia, Jen Faith Brown, who we'll get to in a moment, in 12th night at La Cañada Flint Ridge Shakespeare Festival. He somehow finds time to book national commercials, some of which you can see at michaelfaulkner.us/commercials. He never sleeps. Jen Faith Brown, an actress and a woman, a humanitarian of exceptional talent. I can tell you this from the short time I've known her. We worked together the last few months on some union business. Jen Faith Brown is an actress, singer, and recent transfer from New York City. She is the co-writer of Only a Girl, a two-character play with music that tours for Holocaust educational purposes. In 2003, Jen founded Lightkeeper Productions, a non-profit theater company. That company has toured Only a Girl, as well as other educational and TYA productions to theaters, universities, public and private schools, and children's hospitals. Jen is also a teaching artist and has taught acting and musical theater. We're going to talk more about, Jen and I were having a conversation earlier, just really excited when people do things that create work for other people. As it's just really exciting, So next is Travis Parker. Travis and I were just auditioning today for the same part, so we did color coordinate. It's the new Bounty Man. And I grew my beard in 3 days, but what's that?
And he wears cashmere now.
Travis grew his beard in 2 days. I think he's using HGH. Okay. Travis is a working actor living in Los Angeles. Credits include 2530 Glen Green Ave, a 5-unit apartment building in Beechwood Canyon. You may have seen the show on TLC. He was also seen in a project called the Clinton Street Project, a 7-unit project development in West Hollywood. Now, in case any of you don't know what I'm saying here, Travis builds homes. He's a contractor. Is that the right term to use, contractor? Property developer. Awesome. Okay. On the side, he appeared on television on such shows you may have heard of, such as Young and the Restless, on CBS, Justice on Fox. Travis recently produced his first feature film. This is awesome. I want you to talk more about this, in which he also starred. He is in pre-production for his second feature while starring in his career as a real estate developer. So there you go. And I want to say that that's definitely worth getting your agent to get you a recurring or top a show. So Travis and I go way back, so I will try to, I told him earlier, I was like, you know what, we've been really serious up until now. We'll try to keep our antics and our monotone jokes to a minimum because you folks may take us a little too seriously on it. Christine Robert, another lovely actress who I've had the chance to be in class with and work with the last couple of years, is a multi-hyphenate, my word I chose, not hers. And I love it. And she's in areas of creative pursuits: actor, visual artist, dancer, and screenwriter, to name a few. A background in marketing and business, consulting in both those fields, also staffing management most currently, with rent-paying jobs as well in food service, accounting and production, and the almighty holy grail of actor-sought jobs as an executive assistant. We all know how much we value those. Currently, and I have a story about my pursuit as an executive assistant that taught me a thing or two about how to make sure to respect myself based on the way I was dealt with in the interview. We'll maybe get to it, I don't know. Not to lose my place, sorry. I lost my place. Currently, Christine is a staffing manager for Robert Half Account Temps, which places highly skilled accounting and finance professionals in temporary and temp to perm positions with local businesses. Epitomizing the word entrepreneur, it's no surprise Christine is an award-winning founder and co-sponsor of the Entrepreneurs Roundtable with the California Lutheran University in Thousand Oaks. And I'm sorry, I didn't know the name of the award, and I never sent you a text to ask you so I could get that, so you can tell us about it. Passion for entrepreneurs and artists who live on freelance and networking to support their dreams. That's Christine. Bobby Reed, to my right and stage right here, your left, is an award-winning stage, film, and television actor. He's been in show business for over 40 years. He's also a proud union member, director, producer, writer, marketing coach, teaching his Super Marketing for Actors program at AFTRA Los Angeles, now SAG-AFTRA. You can look for his full bio at bobbyreed.com, but additionally, Bobby was a commercial agent, a theatrical and commercial assistant, an occasional intern at talent agencies in New York and Los Angeles. He was also an apartment cleaner with a busy toilet bowl brush and a legal assistant since 1974 in New York, so the working game is a familiar one to Bobby. That's awesome because we're going to want to hear your stories.
About scrubbing toilets.
Exactly. Just start from the bottom. Okay, going to Bobby's right for Nancy Daly, the fabulous Nancy Daly. Let me get my notes here. Okay, I don't have your bio here. No. Actor, singer, writer. Nancy is a proud member of 3 unions, including DGA and Equity. Am I right about that? Okay, great. Labor relations and activism include Actors Equity National Council 2005-2010, former officer of the Washington, D.C. Baltimore SAG Council. And resume highlights include Regional Legit, that's theater. If some of you, I'm assuming everyone knows, but just in case you don't, Legit is theater. TV, film, and voiceovers, too numerous to list. Nancy's been a licensed massage therapist since 2001. She's certified in certain areas, which we're going to get to. I'm not going to name them all here, as well as some of her specialties, because that's part of what I want to talk with her about and ask her about. She's also a playwright. She's a national captain and founder of Actors Unite to End Alzheimer's, which raised over $23,000 in its first year. 2011, and led to articles in Backstage.com, BroadwayWorld.com, as well as the national magazines of Actors Equity and SAG-AFTRA. This is great. The greatest honor of her life was receiving a personal letter from President Obama praising her and the team for their work to raise money to end Alzheimer's.
Pretty cool.
Nice. Michael Eliopoulos, I think he left. Okay, and moving to our right, Kevin, we need to hear about you because...
Who am I?
You
Define me.
fabulously, along with Nancy, put this whole marvelous evening together. So, Kevin is an actor, writer, singer, tour guide, wine enthusiast, proud lefty, and organizer extraordinaire. But hey, who needs labels? While toiling away, not toileting away, while toiling away in the dot-com boom, Kevin got a little more than frustrated with the burgeoning pile of work which lacked artistic expression and was caustically eating away at the marrow of his soul. Ew. Kevin left the dot stress, got back into stage work, took up voiceover, got an agent in San Francisco, got his AFTRA and equity cards, then moved to LA to play with the big dogs. In his few short years in LA, he's played Dave in 3 equity productions of The Full Monty, performed in the world premiere of Tennessee Williams' comedy, played opposite Neil Patrick Harris in How I Met Your Mother, joined SAG, worked with 2 of his childhood idols on a show about another idol, just shot a webisode, sang with Jen Faith Brown over here, stage left, you're right, at the MPTF, that's the Motion Picture Television Fund home, moved up to VIP guide at Universal, NBCUniversal, and is currently breathing. More info, go to hollyhollywood.com. And finally, we have, and I'm going to go to the right page. Am I going to find it? Michael.
That's Mike. There are
Mike.
3 mics
Mike,
up here.
We have actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 mics. We have 3 mics.
But up.
Okay, sorry. Mike Sington. Am I saying your name correctly? Yes. Okay, great. Director of Studio Guide Casting, Development and Operations at Universal Studios. That was me shortening it to get it all on one page. Under Mike's direction, the studio tour has grown to become a top destination for tourists and entertainment enthusiasts in Los Angeles. Mike's primary job responsibilities, helping actors thrive as actors, developing programs under the studio tour umbrella specifically geared towards developing actors' careers, e.g. casting workshops, classes taught by sought-after acting coaches, seminars with industry leaders, and the annual NBCUniversal Actors Showcase. All these programs are free, only open to studio tour guides. Alumni include, and some of you should know these names, if not all of you should know these names, Sandy Logan. Anyone know Sandy Logan? Test? Yeah. Yep. He gets the door prize. Andy Fickman, director-producer, Dava Waite, Jack Wagner sounds familiar. Jack Wagner, Tony Sepulveda, VP of casting at Warner. Sorry, you know what? I actually skipped over. Andy Fickman, director-producer, Dava Waite, casting director, Jack Wagner, actor, recording artist, Tony Sepulveda, VP casting at Warner, Bob Bergen, voiceover artist and teacher, just to name a few. Mike is a proud member of SAG-AFTRA. Oh, thank you. Great. So, now that we got some of the dry business out of the way of introducing everyone, and thank you all again for being here, we're going to first of all, I want to cover one point, which is just to make sure we know how many of you here are receptive in our social hour later to talk to people about possible hiring or at least networking and that such for your particular company. Is there anyone here? Christine, Bobby, Mike, right? Is there anyone else? Okay.
Yeah, if anybody has any one-person shows or anything like that.
Okay, I'm just going to make point of asking all the panelists because we're recording and also because everyone in the lobby to make sure, regardless of the room, to use the microphone. I personally don't like using it because, you know, I was trained for arena outdoor stages.
I love how you do your hand like that. Very Shakespearean of you.
I should do the three-point stance. Okay, so moving along, I'm just going to start right in with Mike because this has been kind of fascinating to me. You are an actor. And what I love about reading your bio and getting to know you just a little bit is you really seem to look out for actors. You seem to really want to support actors and create work for them so that they can continue to go out and act. Is that?
That's my job, and I think my story might relate to some of yours. I moved out here from Michigan to pursue acting many years ago. Everything I owned in the back of my car, $1,200 in my pocket. I knew no one, no family, no friends, no place to stay, no job. I thought I got to get a job on the side, and I thought I could wait tables, but I've always heard about the studio tour at Universal. That sounds like fun. I want to work at a movie studio. Timing was right. I got the job. One thing led to another. And now my main job responsibility is to create a program for actors to thrive. So to answer your question, yes, we want actors working as studio guides. We get actors, we know what your needs are. You can leave in the middle of a shift and go to an audition and come back, you get paid for the full shift. many other benefits to the job.